Well, good evening and welcome to this week's Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Small Affordable Cars. As usual, quite a lot to get through tonight, quite a lot. Let's introduce you to the team. We've got Alan Watton.
Good evening.
Mark Meredith.
Good evening all.
Craig Courtney.
Good evening all.
Mark Adams.
Hello everyone.
Claire Giblin.
Good evening.
And Paul Ipkiss.
Good evening all.
And hopefully Nick will be joining us soon. I'll keep trying him. So we've got absolutely nothing to talk about. Who wants to start on this one?
Where do we start?
Come on, Craig. You can be the brave one.
We do the elephant in the room to start off with.
Pardon?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say everybody's gobsmacked at the decision that was made this morning, even though when rumours were circulating and not just, in one place, but multiple areas yesterday, and it was so loud that we all guessed, I think, that something would occur. Not necessarily today, but this week. But it's football for you, isn't it? It's a horrible game, and it's now just shows that fan power really is nothing in the game, and it's down to the owners who they want. How they do it, when they do it, is entirely up to them. We all thought it would happen at some point. Unfortunately, John Eustace was never the new owner's man. Silence was deafening when it came to actually speaking with him and taking things forwards and making progression. And now we're seeing what they've done. Let's hope they haven't pulled the trigger too soon. Let's hope the decision in the incoming person, whoever that may be, and we've got to say that because everything else is rumour at the moment, is the right person.
I want to start by saying thanks to John Eustace. The last 15 months have been, a lot of it's been good, hasn't it, really? I mean, I'll throw it out there to our viewers. Let's go for his top three moments while he was our manager in the last 15 months. I mean, the Baggies double last season, and certainly Friday night stands out, doesn't it? Those three games over West Brom, were outstanding. And I think a Swansea away as well, the fight that we showed there. A lot of his other games as well. We looked very good, and he got us playing a brand of football this season with the 4-2-3-1 that was working for the players that we had. And certainly since Dembele come back in the team as well, we've looked a different team altogether, haven't we? These last week against Huddersfield and Baggies, we looked like we were sort of starting to turn a corner and pit our wits at the top end of the table. I'm not saying we would have finished in the playoffs if we hadn't sacked him. And to be honest, I think these owners obviously they've taken over and they want their own stamp on things and they want to get their own person in, which is fine. But I can't say I'm in shock that they've done it, but I am surprised by their choice. I'll be honest. If you're going to do it, then at least get somebody in the door that's got a track record of getting where we want to get to. But ultimately, Rooney still is a very young manager. He's a big name in the game, obviously, and they want to make us a global brand. And I can see the thought process there as well. But I just hope that it's not Zola Part 2. We don't want to pull the trigger and end up, just pressing the self-destruct button again at the same time and flying down that league table from 6th like we did. Was it 6 years ago now? 6 years ago? 7 years ago, yeah. So we don't want to be doing that like we did in 2016 when we obviously sat Rabbit to bring in Zola. But, we've got, what I will say is we've got a better squad now than what we had back then. Yeah. We've got good players to work with. And, obviously Wayne Rooney walking through the door and into the dressing room, if it is to be him, and pretty much confirmed, isn't it, I think? And if it is to be him, then obviously I'll support him like the rest. And we just got to get behind him and hopefully we can move forward in a positive way with him because it just looks to me like, the vibes these owners are giving me, they just don't accept second, never mind sixth, Yeah. Second place is first loser. And that's always been my mentality as well in my profession. But it's just the timing of it's just a little bit harsh with us winning the last two and, having convincing wins and playing some good football. It's just a bit of a bizarre time. And the daft thing is, this is football. But if this had happened a week ago, after we lost to Norwich, and we're sitting here a week ago, we're probably not all as surprised, are we?
No.
It's just the things and roundabouts that it creates the game that we love,
Yeah, and honestly, on that, Paul, just to go on that, I think I honestly think it's not a decision that's been made. It's not a decision that's been made Saturday when Rooney walks out of DC. No. I think it's a decision that's been made probably a month ago. So when the talks first initially started with Rooney, I'm sure it was over the sort of bad period of results that we were having. Last international break was the first time we heard the rumours, and it's mad that it's the new international break that it's actually happened. And I think it may be that they went to Rooney and Rooney said, let me finish off the playoff hopes with DC first and see where that is. And then obviously we can go from there. Now,
that's what it seems
as
like.
As we've all seen, the Eustace is very good man manager. We said this before on the show, and you can tell by today with the players coming out publicly, like on Instagrams and Facebooks, with the thank yous to the gaffer and whatever else. He's well respected. And the biggest issue we're going to have now is, I think, whoever comes in, and I think that is Rooney 99% sure, the pressure's on him straight away. The fans are going to be on his back a little bit, not because of who he is, but I think because of the decision that's been made. And then also the players have got to now... I'm sure every professional footballer respects him for who he is and what he's done. But now he's got to go in and gain the trust and the respect and the character that Eustace had already built with that squad. And I think we were getting to the stage where this is Eustace's squad now. Before we could have said, well, Eustace is coming in and taking over somebody else's his team, but it was slowly getting to the stage where it was his team. He'd built these players, he'd brought these players in, so... I'm shocked a little bit on the timing, but I'm not surprised on, the new guys coming in and the fact that, someone like Tom Brady's in and then they're going to bring in someone like Wayne Rooney. It's from a marketing side of things and a commercial side, it's massive for everybody.
Yeah. Also, adding to that as well, we've got Wayne Rooney, obviously, potentially, and Ashley Cole, who obviously as players were probably public enemy number. They weren't exactly a bit of a pantomime villain when we played against them. Over the years. But, Ashley Cole was a world-class defender and Wayne Rooney was a world-class forward. And we've sat here many times and said we need to score more goals and we need to keep it out the other end more. Okay, our goal difference now after the last week is a lot better, the +4. But if we want to get to the +10s and +15s and up there with, in pitching around the top 4 of this league, then we're going to need to do even better than that. And I think that's the thought process, isn't it, to try and get us to that level in a shorter space of time than maybe what we thought. Sorry, Claire, you go.
Claire wants to come in.
To be fair, I just think that, I do think it was harsh. I think, I agree with what everyone's saying. The biggest thank you for Eustace would be getting Birmingham City back to togetherness, getting the fans back, getting, all of a sudden we feel like we've got our club back. Now, as I said to you guys earlier, just before we came on, this is down to Gary Cook. And I think it will lie on him. And obviously, if this works, brilliant. If it doesn't, then I think that, maybe they might make the right decision, the wrong decision. We don't know whether it's another, that Rangers have come calling and then all of a sudden, has his head turned? Has it not turned? I think, though, we do need a little bit more from the club. I think that, they came out with a statement and it wasn't the greatest statement to read. But, Rooney comes in, we back Birmingham. That's who we're backing. We're backing the players who wear the shirt, who play for the badge, and the manager who's there. Obviously, but Birmingham City Football Club comes first. Obviously we're all in shock. I thought Eustace was brilliant. We all moaned the other week after Norwich. We all moaned after Watford. And this is what happens. Maybe they've heard that and gone, we need to sort something out. It's just typical that we've had some of our best performances the last 2 games. And then all of a sudden they sack him. So not everybody's a bit in shock. But like we said, we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So,
to be honest, Claire, following on from that, his body language on Friday, looking back, being out of the game, obviously you're euphoric and all the rest of it, but I have looked back at the footage of his sort of walking off at the end, and it does look like a final goodbye, and it does look like a poignant sort of message. He played on Friday as if the shackles were off, like at Huddersfield, against Huddersfield. He knew what was coming, so it's almost like I'll just gung-ho and I'll go for it, and I'll go off on a high. But like you said, we go. It sounds corny, but we go to support the badge. It doesn't matter who's in the dugout. We go for that badge. So, Rooney, I'll support Rooney until he gives me a reason not to. That's all I can say.
I think the message board, as you can imagine, has gone absolutely mental. People thanking Eustace, and there's too many for us to mention, but we will go back through these after the show. There's one particular area that, I think is resonating with a lot of people, and Pete Taylor has also summed this up beautifully, which was the statement that came out today, said that I want somebody with a winning mentality. When Eustace used to go out and do his interviews, every week he just kept saying, we need to be and we want to be competitive. And that was even with the squad that he's got at the moment. And that was just not going to wash with the owners. And I think that's a fair statement. They have come through the door and they've set their stall out. I'll say it now, we trust and have trusted every decision that they have made so far in the club. We've trusted them to take us forward. We've trusted them with the stands. We've trusted them with all the work that they've done outside. We've trusted them with all the decisions that they're making around personnel. It was bad timing. Everybody's thinking the same. 2 wins on the bounce. It's not come pleasant. But 2 weeks ago, when everybody was calling for his head, this wouldn't have been the case. So all I can say is, I agree, Claire. Gary Cook has made the decision. He has taken this forwards. However, somebody has to pull the purse strings to say that we will pay Eustace and what appears to be, to be confirmed, but the backroom staff as well, out of their contracts. So we've paid a substantial amount of money to these people moving forwards, right? So it's not him solely that has made this decision. It's across the board. What I will say is there are also the elements of ridiculous comments that are coming out saying the board's got to go. We've had enough. They're making the wrong decisions. For God's sake, they've saved us.
Unbelievable.
I think that's just a spur of the moment, shock and people
anger. Yeah,
people are getting Zola vibes, which I do get, but they say we haven't been run by the, this isn't the same people who are making these decisions.
At least we're not like Watford getting a new manager every 8 games. But the next 5 or 6 games are massive games. Like we are playing against some of the teams that are good. If we're challenging, that we will be up and around. So he's got whoever comes in has got a huge task. The next 6 games are massive.
What I would say with the timing.
Go on, Mark.
What I would say with the timing, we know we just won 2 games, but if you look back, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, over the last 2-3 weeks, we've probably played, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, or Saturday, Tuesday, Friday, for the last 2 weeks. So it wouldn't be a good time to sack a manager on a Monday if you got a game on a Tuesday or vice, Friday or whatever else. So I think with it being an international break, I do think that was a big reason, regardless of the 2 results. I think if you get rid of Eustace this morning, you get Rooney in tomorrow, he's got 10 days of his own training then before the next game. So I think it's a smart way of doing it. Unfortunately, it came after 2 good wins instead of 2 defeats. But I think that's where the planning has come from, is that we need to get a stage where we haven't got games, because I wouldn't want to fire Rooney straight into a game tomorrow with everything that's going on. But at least now he's got 10 days to, not put a stamp on it, so to speak, because it's too close, but at least get to know players and put some rulings in there that he wants to, do before they travel to Middlesbrough.
And people are saying, they will give Rooney a chance. There are others that are basically saying, look what he did at Derby. Well, actually, at Derby were only just relegated after losing 21 points through the financial side of things. Now, if he was to put, and if I remember rightly, when we looked at it at the time, if you were to put those 21 points onto what they actually earned, they were in and around mid-table, near enough fighting for a playoff place at the time. So he obviously did do something and did do something well. I think he had the respect.
Derby fans liked him.
Derby fans,
He put his hands in his pocket, didn't he?
Well, he's worked with Buchanan and Bielik at Derby as well before, so he's no stranger.
There's a connection there, yeah.
But anyway, welcome back, Nick.
Welcome back, Nick Ball.
Guys.
Who are you?
Been a difficult couple of weeks. Obviously, you probably all know my brother passed away really suddenly. We were all kids just 10 minutes ago.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Seriously, it's like mad. Do you know what? I'm one of 9, brought up with next to no, lived a simple life, and, you know.
Yeah. Nick, what's your thoughts on today's goings on, Nick, anyway?
Well, I've been at work today. I had a really, really busy day today. And then I picked my phone up and my editor texted me about 11 o'clock this morning, Eustace gone. And I'm thinking, we're 6th in the league. When was we last 6th in the league, in this stage of the league? In this stage of the season, sorry.
Rabbit before Zola.
You want
Rabbit before Zola.
Rabbit before
The last
Zola.
time this happened.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Look, I do know the Wagners and the people. We've had nothing but good news come out, and then all of a sudden, it's like a turmoil again.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that yet. That's what happens.
What I can't tell you, Paul, is whether it's going to be a turmoil for the good or a turmoil for the bad.
Yeah.
Not one of us can predict that. Not one.
No.
But now we've got, or we're going to get, because I don't think they've been appointed yet, have they?
No.
I'm about to raise my hand. It says, oh, not now. We're about to get a new management and backroom staff, and they've got to go through with what was predominantly now Eustace's players and get the best out of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find it all just a bit too. Should we have waited till after Christmas and see where we are then, and you know, maybe the next international break, because you know sometimes they have a 2-week international break, don't they? And that would have been even better.
It's all ifs and buts.
I don't know. I'm just.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Alan, what are your thoughts on all this, mate?
Well, I'm going to give you the emotional. I'm sitting there this morning in exactly the same seat, in exactly the same place that I was when my phone went ding, 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 and it said that Trevor had died. And this morning, thanks to you guys, it was ding, ding, dinging again, and I looked up and I felt as bad. For lots of reasons, because one of the things we have that has is continuity. This guy has built this team. It's taken him 15 months to do it. We all gave him short shrift when he lost 3 out of 4 the other week, and he did exactly what we all wanted him to do.
Yeah.
Put the right players in, stick the players up front, leave the old men out, and we won 2 games. Now, I've got to be honest, I don't like Wayne Rooney as a person. Full stop. I wouldn't want him within 100 miles of my club, to be brutally honest. I still remember when he broke Steve Wicks' leg when he was 18 years of age, and everybody said, oh, he was young and, you know, all the rest of it. I don't like him, and I can't change that. Now, I think that he will have to go in and start again. And he's whatever respect the players had for John Eustace, he has got to do that in the next 2 weeks. And he hasn't got any games. And we play, is it Middlesbrough away the next game?
Yeah, and they've won 5 on the bounce.
Yeah. They've won 5 on the bounce.
They're in form.
It's a horrible
quick question,
place,
Alan.
well. Horrible place.
Really, really hypothetical question. Let's assume we get promoted. Will you like him then?
Not as a person. I will be surprised if we do. And I will say he's not as bad a manager as I think he is. I think he's awful.
Yeah.
My personal opinion of him won't have changed, but my opinion of him as a footballing manager might change. But Ashley Cole, that's another person I dislike intensely. You know, what did we sing to him when he was playing against us? Can you remember the tune? Well, that hasn't changed. And I don't even know the other guy.
He'll be happy, won't he?
It's our next game.
People I don't like. That's what really upsets me.
It'll soon be forgotten, Alan, if he does well, though. I'll say that, because I remember the petition when we nearly signed Lee Bowyer the first time. You know, the fans were really against it, and then eventually we did sign him, and he was brilliant for us, wasn't he, when he put the shirts on. You know, I think there was a few fans not keen at all on Lee Bowyer coming to us. Was it Steve Bruce who was after him at one point, and then obviously
from
McLeish,
Well, he was still well known for beating up Pakistanis in the street, so he wasn't everybody's favourite person, was he?
No.
I mean, years went by, and people forgot that.
Well,
let's assume we go to Middlesbrough and we win 4-0.
Yeah.
And let's also assume that we go to Middlesbrough and lose 4-0.
I don't know.
Well, we all know.
Yeah, I mean, mistakes. Things that people have done wrong in the past. Any mistakes anyone's ever made, and if I was a betting man, I'd comfortably say everybody in this chat now has made a mistake at some point in their life, you know. It doesn't define that person, that one mistake. I mean, Beckham. Obviously, I've been watching the Beckham documentary recently. I don't know if anyone else has, and he made a mistake on the pitch against Argentina, and he certainly redeemed himself, didn't he? And there's no reason why the guys can't do the same, really, at the Blues, you know.
And the message board is again, it's a light at the moment, but the comments are very, very similar. You know, we've had players at our club that have caused injuries to people. We said we would never get behind, but then we backed them at the club. One of those is a friend of the show. You know, he was at the club, caused a problem. People hated him, but when he came,
name again. Sorry, you clicked up. Sorry,
Paul Robinson.
Yeah,
in sense of what he's done.
Damien Johnson.
Damien Johnson. Yeah. You know, we've had some.
Taylor.
Yeah.
The list's getting bigger.
Marlon King, the list is endless, you know, as to, you know, people we've had that we have then forgiven because what they've brought. But the Eustace era, as harsh as it sounds now, is over. He has gone.
Yeah.
We don't know for definite who's coming in. We can all speculate. We can all say we believe that it's Rooney, right? No smoke without fire. When he comes into the club, will I sing his name when he comes onto the pitch for the first time? No. Will I applaud the guy because he is leading out our team and being part of Birmingham City? Yes. So one of the first things he's got to do is he's got to gain the respect. The same as all of those players and anybody else that comes through the door. They've got to gain the respect of the fans. We're the life and blood of the club. And without us, they are nothing. People started returning. We'll go on to the subject shortly of safe standing and stuff. You know, we've seen people coming back in their droves. That's not just because of Eustace. That's because there's a feel-good factor in the club, and it's because we're moving forwards. If that continues, happy days. Will it continue if he starts losing and going on a run of games? No. But there's probably double the pressure on that guy when he comes through the door because he's automatically seeing all the comments. You know, social media is a light. People I have seen, which I think is totally ridiculous, abusing his family. And he's not even part of our club. So there's abuse.
That's ridiculous.
Or, you know, and things like that, right? No need. They are not fans. They are just absolute keyboard warriors. Right? What we've got to do now is back whoever comes in, support them as a club and as a fan. We all have our gripes around players and anybody that comes in.
Can I just clear? Sorry.
Go on, Al.
Can I just clear up what I said? What I said was this was the emotional feelings that I had 10 hours ago. Now, listening to you guys and thinking about it and whatever, yes, he's coming. Can't do anything about that. Now, what I think of him doesn't matter. What he does matter. And I'm in that place now. I've kicked the cat. I've had a moan, blah, blah, blah. Now let's get down to practicalities. What's this guy going to do for us? End of.
Okay, so here's a quick question for everybody, and I want to go around the whole lot of you. Well, sacking of John Eustace, good move, bad move. Mark, off with you first.
Well, we don't know yet.
No, your opinion.
Yeah. If it
I
did happen.
can't give you my opinion because I don't know. We don't know. We've got to give it time and see how Rooney gets on.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we're sixth in the league.
Well, yeah,
means nothing.
Yeah, the
Means
timing of the
nothing.
sacking, the timing of the sacking is bizarre. I'll say that, but you know, we've got to move. We just got to move with it. We can't do anything else.
Can I just say though,
Go on, Claire.
the main worry I would have is the amount of leaks at the club or the amount of people that know things.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yesterday, Twitter was ridiculous with this.
Yeah.
We've had it where the kit's been leaked. We've had it where this has been leaked and that's been leaked. That's where the club needs to look at as well, because all of a sudden we're all thinking, oh, what's going on? What's going on?
Who
But the
are
rumours
these
have to
people?
start from somewhere.
Yeah.
So if there's a leak at the club, what are they going to do about that? Because there's somebody saying something's going on.
Yeah.
You know, like the kit launch, the JK song, you know, everything was ruined because of a leak. Well, who's saying these rumours? Because there's no smoke without fire. We said that yesterday. So
It's got to be someone.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's just
someone
my.
or
That's just.
somebody's doing something.
Sorry, that was just my answer to Nick's question. But can anyone else say if it's a good or bad decision?
I look at it this way, right? Yeah, we're sixth in the league, but we are one loss away from being, I think, 14th in the league. So at this present moment, we've won 2 games, and I was ecstatic Friday. You know, it was lovely to get one over them, to get rid of the curse of the 46 games, go behind and not win. Get rid of all of that. But ultimately, that league is so open that it doesn't tell a true story. If we were second and 5, 6, whatever points ahead of the team in third, then yes, I would absolutely question everything that's going on. But we're not. We are still.
And I think the question that I asked was born out of a frustration. Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
And this morning I was exactly the same. You know, I was angry. I think as was every single fan. But as the days gone by, and you sit down and you think, they've come and gone in the past.
We should be used to it by now, though, shouldn't we? Really? I can't say I was angry. I
Let's
wasn't
just get that
surprised.
saying back. Just typical Blues.
Yeah.
Whatever will be. We will still go home and away. We'll still watch them.
Yeah.
Is it a good idea? We won't know. Give us 5 games and we'll talk about it again. Give us.
all right,
10
yeah,
games.
I'll get that, Claire. Understand that, yeah.
I don't know. Like, you know, you never know what's going to happen in football. We might go on an unbeaten run till Christmas and it was the best thing ever. We might lose every game.
One thing we must surely all agree on is that he is a bigger name than John Eustace in the game of football, and he probably will attract. No, probably about it. He will attract higher profile players.
That's probably the only reason, I think.
Sorry, what was his name, Paul?
Who did he attract? Who did he attract at Derby and
Exactly.
United?
It
He couldn't have
Yeah, no
I
money.
don't have any money. That's the problem.
He didn't have the tools.
He couldn't do a lot at Derby, in fairness, could he? Because of the financial things that were going on there.
Although he did put his hand in his own pocket, apparently.
Hang on, John Eustace has been in the same boat. He's had no money to spend, and he's got a sticks in the table.
Good point.
Which is better, to have big names that cost us a fortune and don't do anything, or build a side of lean and hungry players who want to succeed. Now, that's the difference. That's what the difference is going to be. Are we going to continue this building process, or are we going to come Christmas we'll sign 2 or 3 flash Harrys who are coming to the end of their careers, 29, 30, 31 years of age. We're paying them X number of, and they do bugger all.
And of course, we had that with Harry Redknapp, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, does a big player make a big coach on the exercise?
But you can think of more. You can think of more great players that have gone on to be managers that it hasn't worked out for than you can that has.
Yeah.
Well, you got Lampard, Gerrard.
Yeah, most of the
Pep
great.
Guardiola was an okay player. I wouldn't say he was world-class sensational. I mean, he made a lot of the time it's the mediocre ones that make the good.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I mean the likes of Wenger and Mourinho and Ferguson, they didn't play for like at the level, did they?
No, they're bang average, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a concern about his knowledge and stuff like that. He just passed his pro license just a couple of months ago, and You know, we know he's got knowledge of the game. He's been around it. He's played at the highest level. He's been one of the best players in England for years. So I don't think there's a concern about his coaching style. I think the problem is like we've talked about before, coaching's not just on the field anymore. It's everything. And I think that's the thing. Like, if he comes in and he has the same attitude that a lot of people don't like, then is that going to turn the players against him quickly? You know, he's got to come in and gain that respect, as we spoke about. And he's got to gain respect to, no disrespect to Birmingham, but smaller players than, you know, these high, whatever, Manchester City, Man United, whatever players they have. You know, we've got a smaller player base, and he's got to gain that respect quickly. But I don't think there's an issue with him on the knowledge. I think he's probably, and again, there was no issue with Eustace as well. All these coaches are qualified to do the job, but I think we'll be okay on that side. I just hope he comes in and, you know, gets the same respect that Eustace has grown in 15 months from fans and players, because that's what's going to be the biggest thing. But
Eustace has done that, though, hasn't he? He's chipped away. He's brought some really top, well, I wouldn't say top quality players here, but, you know, within our league, some very, very, very good players who play together as a team, and that's what Birmingham City fans want.
Yeah, let's be fair. I think Craig Gardner's had a lot to do with getting any players in. I don't think.
I've got to say, I feel for that guy today. Because Craig Gardner is very close to Mr. Eustace. He was probably fundamentally behind him coming into the club. You know, in terms of the players, yeah, I agree. The camaraderie and the bringing together of the players and the fans, he has been phenomenal at doing. And I remember hearing from some of the backroom staff at the back end of last season that exact statement, that they've never been in a dressing room where a group of players are so together. But actually, are they his choices and are they his players? I think that those players were brought into the club for the future of the club. You know, they recruitment is ultimately down to a few people. It's not just the manager. And whilst I think John Eustace had a say, I agree, Chris. I think, you know, Craig Gardner has had so much impact on those people coming through the door and taking us forwards that I like to say I feel for him today, because he was probably behind as well some of the discussions that have happened with Eustace, and he's probably behind some of the conversations that are still to come with other people still at this club.
Definitely.
But I mean,
I don't think Craig will go. I think he'll stay. I think he is doing a phenomenal job, considering he's come straight from being a player. And, you know, that's what people have got to realise. He has gone from a player, not into coaching or managerial, but straight into management of the finances and the running of the club. He was probably more fundamental than any of us realised behind the takeover and being involved with getting these people in. He is still learning himself. He is a businessman outside of football. So I don't think he'll go anywhere. I think he's actually got a lot of backing from Wagner. What?
To be fair, sorry, Craig. To be fair, I mean, with Craig, I mean, he had to himself had a lot of pressure because people were calling him all sorts. He's had to win people over again himself. So he can, in that respect, Rooney can have a good, quiet word with him, and Craig himself would know what it's all about. Because at one point, the abuse he was getting, he's won people back over. So I'm hoping, if it is Rooney, which it probably is, he does the same.
Yeah, I'm just trying to analyse here both outcomes. Obviously, we start nosediving down the league, and it's a disaster. We start going into and pitching for the top two. Then other clubs, for me personally, I think this could be a stepping stone for Rooney, because the likes of Everton, Man United, who are always, you know, Man United are nowhere near where they want to be, and then you've got Everton as well, who are always trying to stay in the Premier League. Them are his two clubs that are closest to his heart. You know, one of them comes in and we've lost him anyway, haven't we? So I don't think we can, you know, obviously we might get a good compensation payout if he does well, but I'd like to think that, you know, if he is going to do well, he'll be here for the long haul and he's committed and loyal to us, but there's no loyalty in football.
The one thing, sorry to cut you off, Paul, the one thing that I think that I was really interested in is, in the statement, is where they said about they want the whole of Birmingham City to play in that way. So are we talking about the ladies? Is Darren, you know, Carter's job all of a sudden you know, if he doesn't follow it, is it the ladies too? Is it all of it? Like, is it this no fear thing? Are they going to change more and more people? I don't know.
But, you know, flipping over what I said about Man United, obviously, we probably will attract. I mean, Wayne Rooney's son is banging goals in for fun, isn't he? In the academy there. Yeah. I'm not sure how old he is. I know he's quite young still, but you know,
he's not 14 yet.
You know, if he's still here in a couple of years and he's 16, 17, you just never know, do you?
No. Sign him on loan.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
But yeah, I mean, going back to Rooney, I mean, hopefully it'll just click. You know, it might just be hope beyond hope that it is at a place where it clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the Bradys and the Wagners are no fools. They are not fools.
No.
Right? They're astute, very, very clever business people.
Yeah.
And I don't think, even though I'm on two sides with this Eustace Rooney thing, I'm on two sides with it because, you know, nobody can predict the future, but I don't think that people in that position would jeopardise what they're doing and their reputation and the way that they want to capitalise Birmingham into America.
I think the argument there, Nick, is that, you know, listen, as a businessman, getting Rooney in instead of Eustace is massive, right? For a business, and we've agreed that already by name. But they're not footballing people. They've admitted they're not footballing people. So the decision of actually on the field stuff, that's where it can catch them out, and they wouldn't even realise it. You know,
are they then relying on the likes of Craig Gardner and people like that who are footballing people within the UK that know what they know?
Yeah, surely they've got to lean on them.
It's like when you
have a mix.
Yeah, when you buy a new house, you buy new furniture and have it all decorated, don't you? And you get everything.
No, you don't, because you can't afford the furniture once you bought a new house.
Yeah. But, you know, it's a bit like that, isn't it? You know, they want to put their own stamp on the place and go forward with their own setup. And, you know, I wish them all the best of luck in it because, you know, I really hope it works. Because obviously, you know, we all love the club at the end of the day and we want what's best for it. And I hope that
nobody, Paul, wants it to work more than us, more than the people that are listening and watching to this tonight. Nobody wants it more than us. We have no financial input to the club. We have no financial gain from the club. We have heart and soul that we have put into that football club over many, many years. And because of that, the passion and the drive of Birmingham City fans, it's there to everybody see. Dead simple, yeah? All we want is, number one, stability, and number two, success.
Yeah.
Actions speak louder than words. So let's see. We can only go with what happens. We can talk about it all we like. Actions speak louder than words.
You're right, Claire. And do you know what we should be talking about tonight? 2 wins on the bounce.
Yeah.
And thank you to everybody. Before we move on to the games and stuff, thanks to everybody for the input on the message board. It really has been really busy. So sorry we haven't got range to as many questions and points to shout out as we possibly can. As
Pick one at random, Craig, and read it out. Pick one at random and read it out.
If I do you want to go. Yep. Who's put the okay? When you buy a new house, you don't tarmac the drive every 6 months.
Watford, if you're in Watford, you do.
You do, yeah.
If you live in Watford, yes.
Chris, can you name and shame that person? Because that was a brilliant analogy.
That was Nigel Mann.
Well done, mate.
Jason Hughes has said our owners are top of their game in business and good management is planning for what comes next. They aren't looking at the next 3 months. They're looking at the next 3 years. If that doesn't involve Eustace, then why shouldn't they have made the call now? Sad, but you can't blame them for their long-term thinking. Spot on. Absolutely.
Yeah. I really do get that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Also, I mean, somebody mentioned it earlier, is how the players are going to respond. Because ultimately, it's really going to be down to them. I mean, if they bottle it,
I have got something to say about that. I'm not going to say it on air, Chris.
Well, they could. To be fair, sorry.
We've got a great comment here from Andrew Cash. Hi, Andy, by the way. Good lad, Andy. If people had been given the option 12 months ago of new owners with money and Rooney as the manager, or the old owners with no money and keep Eustace, what would they have taken?
Exactly.
Yeah, so true.
That question.
Exactly.
I applaud that man, actually. I genuinely applaud that. I mean that.
Of course we would have.
From the bottom of my heart, mate. I really do. Because that is a statement of the night.
Yeah, would have bit his hand off, of course. Yeah.
So you kept John Eustace and the old owners, Nick? I'm joking. Anyway, how good was it on Friday to see people back in the lower Tilton?
Amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Atmosphere was incredible. It was so nice. First time I've stood near to Craig and seen people stood below, and it was brilliant. And everyone was buzzing. The lights weren't falling down like they did on Tuesday. They were all,
there were still people moaning.
Yeah.
My seat's not big enough. They've gone in.
I heard that's why Eustace got the sack, because the lights didn't work.
The lights on, but no one's home anyway.
Yeah.
I've got a moment.
Go on.
Those fireworks at the start of the bloody game, right? If you're watching it on telly, you can't see bugger all.
We couldn't see anything, Callum. Good job none of us had asthma.
Hey?
We couldn't see a thing either. It's good job none of us had asthma.
What you got to understand, Alan, this is the American way.
Yeah.
Well,
the smell of sulphur doesn't help as well.
No, it can't be.
I went to Florida many years ago with my children, right? And the night before we came back, we went to SeaWorld. You went around SeaWorld in the day. This most unbelievably amazing light and fireworks show, and I'm going back 25 years.
I've seen that. I've been there.
And then I came back into Eustace, and it was actually bonfire night. And I went and paid £6, I think, to go to the local one here. 3 bangs, 2 pops, and a whiz and a fart, and it was all over.
Can I just say as well, I mean, the fireworks, they just give us a load of smoke, don't they? And it takes me back. Can I say this on the show? But it takes me back to being in my mate's bedroom in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Carry on, Paul.
No, it does. It makes everybody like,
I know, sorry, Claire, a minute. Why would there be smoke in that room on that night, please?
I think he's talking about a different type of smoke, Nick.
Yeah.
Mark Allen's will know about that.
Paul, you've gone very red.
I can remember the smoke coming over the railway stand when I was a boy. The old train used to come over, and they used to disappear out of sight.
We also
It'd be 25,000 people having a fag, wouldn't it?
Yeah. We also haven't mentioned as well that rather than keep right on before the kick-off, what was played?
Our theme.
Yep.
That made me chuckle, to be fair.
Everyone sat around me, was looking at me, saying, "Have you asked for this?" I'm like, "No, I didn't ask for this."
Because we're in the final, guys. It's because they're
Right, sorry, what was paid, guys? I'm sorry.
We are the lads.
Really?
Yeah.
Superb. Superb.
Can I just say that's our old theme?
Our old theme.
Yeah, but we're still the lads of the Tilton, and we still you really should use it occasionally.
Lads from the Tilton and Mark.
We are the people from the Tilton.
We are the persons.
We do sing it. We sing it at games now.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it for ages, and then
it's quite funny.
Excellent.
What sounds better, Claire? We are the people from the Tilton, or we are the guys from the Tilton?
Yeah.
No, the lads is fine. I still sing that bit.
Yeah, you're a lad yourself.
We're all lads.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound good. We are the people of the Tilton.
We are the people.
That's like a Cuban Revolutionary song, doesn't it?
Yeah, we are the people from the Tilton.
Quite the night may have been matched when Nigel Manners said we're all talking about what's happening with the rumours. Now we're talking about fireworks. It's definitely true that there's no smoke without fire.
Oh,
well done.
I'll tell you what, it does look impressive on the TV.
What, the smoke?
The fireworks at the beginning, right? And, don't think that that's going to be the end of it, because they will be all around the stadium soon.
Yeah, no, they move it round, don't they? It was in front of the main stand, then it's been in front of us in the Cup, then it's been in front of the Tilton. Probably the railway ends turn on the next game.
To be fair, to be honest, when it was on before the first game they did it, I thought it's going to be a bit cheesy, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
Especially in the winter, it's very nice and warm.
it is.
I don't think we've experienced, it's a bit extreme if we get a 0-0 one of the weeks, isn't it? But thankfully, I don't think we've experienced one yet, have we?
Yeah, 0-0 at home to Hull or something. Yeah,
Oh, QPR, sorry. QPR was 0-0, wasn't it? Sorry.
QPR,
Well,
Yeah,
apparently it's my fault that Eustace got the sack, apparently, according to Nigel Mann.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, reasons.
I have no idea. I don't know.
It's because your bucket's full.
Yeah, probably. Back in 1978, the smell in the main stand was cigars and Bovril.
Yeah, you're dead right. Cigar spugs and Bovril.
And then the smell on the cock was something definitely different as it went down the steps.
It wasn't Bovril.
probably just street food.
Same colour.
Let's chew the fat off the two games anyway last week. So Huddersfield, obviously, we just completely outplayed them, didn't we?
Yep.
In every department.
To be honest,
Wasn't it?
I think we took the foot off the gas. So I honestly thought we'd get 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to absolutely annihilate, but I did think we took the foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah,
But,
it was noticeable. Well, what he did was he made the subs, didn't he? He gave Dembele and Miyoshi
Game of rest, yeah.
and Stansfield. He gave them a rest and obviously put the subs on. And with all due respect to the subs that came on, we're just not the same team without Miyoshi, Dembele.
It was second gear, wasn't it?
Yeah,
But I mean, to be fair, Huddersfield weren't the best opposition because but you can only beat what's in front of you. And like I say, it could have been easily been 6 or 7. So
And they were on a good run coming into that game, though. But the one thing for me was, and actually, I suppose it's very similar to Friday night. Actually, it was their players just played the game. If that makes sense, they didn't seem forced into what they were having to do. So, there's one particular slow-mo video that will just stick with me and resonate, and that's Dembele taking the ball down off a really high ball. And he's doing it by flicking his foot out behind. And it's just, you would never think that we would see that type of stuff down at St Andrews. But that guy's been the difference since he's come into the team. I think a certain Miss Giblin had said a few weeks ago, getting back in the team, we're going to start scoring goals. And I will say that certain Miss Giblin was dancing around as though she'd won the lottery after that. Last week.
I think he was drunk. I think he was just drunk.
He was brilliant. Like, what more do you want?
Yeah.
He started quick.
Blues win against West Brom is better than winning the lottery, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know, but I don't think we majorly deserved. I mean, I know we played well, but they were good. I'm not going to lie.
The Albion were decent, to be fair.
Yeah.
They didn't give up at all. They kept fighting.
Sorry, Claire. Can I just rewind to last Tuesday and just say I want to give JJ, Jordan James, credit for that strike. It was a great goal.
Brilliant.
I mentioned the players that came on, and our general play wasn't as good. But what a strike by the lad that was for his goal. It was a great strike.
Goal.
I'm glad he
Two great
scored.
strikes into the Tilton, hasn't it, over the past 2 games?
I agree with you there, Paul, because in the 2 games, you're quite right. We declared it when we took the front 4 off and just put on some bodies and never really looked like scoring, but we did.
Yeah,
we went from 3-1 and okay, let's keep the players fresh, put the Stooges on almost. But yes, he went on and scored a great goal. And of course, it reoccurred on Friday night with 2-1 up, no danger of losing. Throw us, okay, not a young man, Gardner on, and he scores an absolute worldie. Now, that is a sign of a winning mentality, shall we put it that way?
No,
I want us all to take our Blues hat off for a second. Was that a penalty on Miyoshi?
Yeah.
No.
Miyoshi slips, but then he goes in 2-footed.
Oh, no, it wasn't a penalty. No, it wasn't a penalty.
He was slipping, no.
No.
Yeah, they're
Was
both slipping.
I the only one moaning, thinking he'd give a goal kick?
Yeah.
A lot of people did, yeah.
I jumped out of my chair.
Yeah.
Can I just say, though, Sanderson going up,
Wow.
sorry, that was brilliant. And that shows how much he loves us.
Yeah.
And that throwing his heads up to the West Brom.
I think on that one, we say about the goal, what an assist by Dremer on that. It was perfect. And the game before, he's crossed to Malashi as well. I think it was, and I think we played the 2 perfect games. I just obviously watching it on the TV, but I think we came out against Huddersfield, obviously, like me and Claire asked, right, Claire?
Mark, we might as well tell him now. Me and you taking over.
You take the job, yeah.
It's me and you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Can I just say,
God
by
help
the
us,
way,
God help
I'm
us.
fed up of seeing the comments that Wayne Rooney, in his last interview over in America, was wearing an undefeated cap.
It wasn't. No,
So
no.
for clarity, I believe, Mark, please tell me if I'm wrong, but that's a company that sponsor him when he's been out in the States.
Yeah, it's a 4 brand, and if you look at it, it's got the four lines, or what you want to call them, with 5 obviously on undefeated. So if you watch it closely, you'll see there's 2 number 4s. That one middle line makes 2 number 4s. It's a brand that's sponsored him for so long over here. He wears them every day. So
is it the equivalent to getting an undefeated cap from Aldi then? Well.
We still got my TB12 though. I'm still flying that one.
Is that Terminator 2?
Yeah. So, but now going back to the games, I think we played a perfect game on Tuesday. I think we were calling at the end for them to get rest from Dembele and players like that. So I think he made a good decision there. Friday, I thought we lined up very well. Everybody could see that Albion's a good possession team, very good team in the division. I still think they'll be a team that probably goes up this year, but we played them good because we played them on the counter, and we countered well with some attacking threat. We got some speed there now, obviously with Malashi and Dembele and stuff. And I think we let them soak the pressure up. We let them play. We got lucky with the first goal for sure, and then obviously getting the second one eased us a little bit. I think Thurling should have scored. Second half for them. He makes it 2-2. It can be a different outcome on the game, but Gardner comes on and scores at a perfect time for us and just ends everything. But I do think that you could tell the setups between Tuesday and Friday was different. So you could tell that Eustace had done his job and his homework on that. It was very attacking-minded on Tuesday, where on Friday it was a bit more like, allow Albion to have the possession of the ball in main stages. And then when we win it, let's counter quickly and catch them out that way. And I think it was perfect. And obviously, I was looking forward to talking about the games, and then everything's happened today. So it's it's a distant memory, but it's still 2 big wins for us, and it sets us up for a big game away at Borough now, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I want to shout out Longello as well, because he's getting better by every game.
Great game.
He's really well now. And I think
2 fullbacks have done brilliantly in the last couple of games.
Really are.
Can I just add to that? Like I'm the first one to say Longello wasn't a good left back. I've said that on a couple of shows, but he's done very well. But I do think, I said this to my dad, and I think I mentioned it to you guys before. I do think playing Dembele on that left side helps Longello. I think what he does is he attracts the defending team onto Dembele lots, and it gives Longello a lot more freedom and space to play. And we've not had that. Where they're trying to 2v1 against Dembele now because of his skill and his speed, it's letting Longello have that little bit more freedom on the field. And I think in the 2 games, it's really shown.
Absolutely. I'm not you, Mark. I put my hand up. I was slating Longello, and a lot of people were, but he's really shook people up. Last couple of games.
Yeah, it's going to be
as well. Huge shout out to him, because the cross for the second goal against West Brom, absolutely superb.
Absolute world class.
Yeah. The other thing is, again, I think it comes down to the people that are in front of them, because he doesn't have that fear about going forward, because he knows that there's people behind him. So, Mark, that's a great point. When you've got people that they trust each other, playing side by side or playing in front of each other, then you've always got opportunities. The only thing we keep saying, we were missing goals from midfield, right? We're now getting goals from midfield. So that's nice to see. But again, they're coming because they trust each other. It's not very often you see Bielik having as many goals as what he has been. But
I know.
Getting that chance to go forwards.
Going back to Drame as well. Sorry, have anyone noticed how good he is in the air? He's got a right good spring on him.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll mention that.
Laird's going to have a job getting back in, and Longello carries on as well. I don't even know if Buchanan's going to walk straight back in. Obviously, I don't play for Rooney before. If it is Rooney as our new manager, which is looking, I'd say 95% it's going to be Rooney now, isn't it, by the looks of things? So it'll be interesting to see how he lines us up with the players we've got, and if he does obviously play the 4-2-3-1 or Does he go to a back five? Dare I say? I hope not.
I agree with Nigel Mann regarding that free kick. I'm just reiterating. Yeah, that was some free kick. Well, yeah.
My dad called it as well. My dad even said when Gary Gardner put it down, this is going in.
He wanted it. Longello wanted it, but Gary Gardner was there. And
he was determined.
The bloke in front of me went, "This is going to go top corner, 4 squares down," and it just went in.
You should have seen Craig Gardner. You should have seen Craig behind me when he scored it. He was going nuts, yeah.
He went mental.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sure. I want to call out Malachi. I thought Malachi's been excellent. The 2 games I've seen him, 2 or 3 games I've seen him in there really playing. I think he's given us a whole new attacking vibe there as a number 10 in the midfield. So
yeah, I think he's toughened up as well. I mean, physically, I think he's got used to the Championship a little bit. He's not knocked off the ball as easy as he was a couple of weeks ago. He seems to be a bit more aware about the whole, all the situation. So, yeah, it's a good sign.
I think arguably now, apart from maybe the full-backs, this is our best team. That team that lined up against the Baggies is our best 11, in my opinion. Apart from
with Anderson still to come back and everyone else.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. All of a sudden, is it can the injuries get better? Can we get the squad back? George Roberts, is he ever going to wear a blue shirt?
Yeah, George Hall as well, Claire, obviously.
Yeah.
Is another
George Hall. Yeah, forgot about him.
Yeah. Martin Ward says that Ollie Burke is flipping rapid. How can a bloke of his size be that quick?
Can't pass the ball, though.
No.
He hasn't done a lot, has he? Apart from run.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He's just run.
He's got a lot to prove. I think he did do a couple of good passes. He can win the ball in the air. I just think, you had a chance against your old team.
That's all I'm going to say. He created an own goal on Friday.
Yeah, that's the best. Best delivery he's put.
How that didn't end up in the net, nobody knows.
Yeah. Keeper had a good side there, didn't he?
Generally, Claire, I agree with you.
Thank you.
I'm just looking at the comments on YouTube. Sorry. Hang on, Nick. I'm just looking at the comments on YouTube. There are a lot more flowery comments on YouTube than on Facebook regarding Rooney. Does anybody remember when he actually had a pop at Blues fans? Because I must have missed that.
I remember the Vickers incident.
Got sent off, didn't he? Got sent off at St Andrews, and I was thinking,
the Vickers want Steve Vickers. I remember I was there and I remember it, but
how long ago was that? For God's sake!
Well, what? So what if he's made a pop?
It's 20 years ago.
I read a comment earlier on as well from somebody that was talking about the fact that all he is seeing is pound signs. He wants to come back to the country because he wants the Premiership, and he also would love to be England manager one day. Guess I like that. Set your expectations high. Go after them. Because if you don't set yourself a stall to go towards, you never go anywhere in life.
If I see Rooney down the Blues, I'll be asking him why he made the comments about hating the Blues and our fans.
I think everybody's made a comment about hating the Blues and our fans.
Yeah.
I've got to admit, the one game I'm looking forward to is the Leicester game. Because the wives are going to be at it, and if Vardy scores, he's going to run straight in front of him and celebrate, isn't he?
Yeah.
So the Leicester game's going to be immense if he does come.
Yeah, Nick, you wanted to come in? Sorry.
Yeah, right. There's 6 or 7 of us on here tonight, and you know what? We're a team. We all play together, work together, and behind Chris is a clock, which I haven't got a clue what time it says. Is it 5:15? Have your batteries gone?
What clock?
That's a good eyesight from there, Nick.
No, but could we all just chuck in 50 pence in each? So we can go and get a packet of AAs.
Oh, you're looking at a reflection of a clock, yeah. That's 7:15.
Still wrong, man, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's still wrong.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It's 7:15 by that one, I know. Yeah. It's been wrong since last season. I just can't be
50
bothered.
pence each, guys. I'm willing to put my bit in.
I can't be asked.
Is it still in 2018 as well, Chris?
Martin Ward has said he hates some of our fans, so he doesn't blame Rooney.
Oh, crikey. Some of our fans, they can be. Oh,
all right, can we talk about an incident that happened on Friday night with Bakuna and somebody
Tuesday.
What, sorry?
That's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
My apologies. I'm all over the place this week. Just forgive me.
Yeah.
I thought the guy that was on him all the time, he was really giving him a hard time. I thought perhaps he'd said something. But no, that came from the stand, Arthur's place, where one of our own was abusing one of our own.
Yeah. But do we know the full story on that? Because I haven't seen.
No.
It wasn't Bakuna who actually complained. It was the Huddersfield player.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, so it wasn't actually Bakuna who complained.
Cool.
But I've got to admit,
Because I didn't know that, Claire.
yeah, on Friday, Bakuna was sensational. So I think he proved how good he can be. Obviously, it's a shame that one of our fans needs to do that, but hopefully, they'll get the punishment needed.
I hope so. Really.
If anyone racially abuse anybody at our football club, right, and I don't care whether you're Japanese, which we've got, whether you're Senegalese, which we've had, I don't care where you come from. I don't care, right? What I do care about is you playing for that badge on the shirt. End of. That's it.
In all honesty, I don't want to give them the airtime because they're not worth it.
Craig, I know that, but we've got to discuss all aspects of everything that's going on.
Well, we've done it. We've done it. Oh, let's get on to the women. Yeah.
Ladies game yesterday, so
I've just been shot down, haven't I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nick, shut up.
I'm thinking of time. We've got 10 minutes till the last 15. Come on.
hard fought result yesterday against second place Sunderland. So another 1-1 down at St Andrews. So the rot of the losses has stopped. Still had our opportunities to score and get us ahead in the game. So still got that little bit of tweaking to go on.
You hit the crossbar 5 times.
Yeah. It was one of those days again yesterday, and I think Stephen Gill's blog will be up shortly for everybody to have a read through. But it really was one of those games, and the league. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the league's over. We're not going to do anything." Well, again, it's a small league. It's daft. Everybody has an opportunity to beat each other, so we can still do something. It's going to be hard, but we can still do it. But Wednesday night, our next game is a Continental Cup down at St Andrews, and again, it's free for kids to get in. It's £1 for an adult because it's a cup game. So, love to get as many people down there as possible, backing Darren and the players, because again, it's like the men's. Without our support, we're not going to see any improvement. We're not going to see it moving forwards, and we've got some opportunities to progress, and I think we'll continue. And yeah, it's nice, it's positive again. The tide seems to have turned, and somebody in our league playing at St Andrews or even away from home is going to get a spanking from those ladies, and that's when they'll be stood up and looked at in a little bit more detail.
We won 5 on the trot last games, didn't we? So it can always happen again.
Just to clear it up on YouTube, John's talking about 20 years ago, the Chris Vickers incident.
Yeah, it was 2003.
2-3 the season. It was on Boxing Day. It was on Boxing Day.
Yeah, that's right. It's Boxing Day.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
1-1 draw.
It was a horrific tackle.
Was that the one we drew 1-1 when Karofsky guys with the header?
Karofsky, got the header.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Are we playing any games this week, Craig, or is it? Has there been too much news to even prepare?
I think we've got 20 minutes left.
I had a squad, but we've only got 8 minutes until the last 15. So
that's all right. We'll take long and do it. Yeah, go for it, man.
Go for it then.
Hold on, let me pull up the team again so that I can make sure.
If you put all the time and effort and preparation into it, I think we should do it, mate.
No pressure then, Paul.
All 3 minutes.
He's just finding one now.
So it's the DC United lineup for 2014.
Mark would know that.
Do we think? I mean, a lot of people are shouting for Graham Potter. Do we think that's a realistic?
No.
Wow.
No, not this moment in time.
The Blues.
So let's take Graham Potter out of this now, right? We're all Gary Cook now, right? And John Eustace has gone. Or Craig Gardner, obviously. I know they're both influencing the decision. Who would be our realistic first choice appointment?
Wayne Rooney.
Who's available?
Wayne Rooney. Yeah, honestly, Mark.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
That's the one right now, I think.
Gary Monk.
Even though,
Gary Monk.
no, but I'm saying taking Potter out of it, I wouldn't for me, Potter would be, but I don't think Potter would even come to Blues right now at this stage.
No.
I think the next one in line for the business side of the club and the relationships that they have would be Rooney. I don't think there's anybody else.
Oh,
For me, right, I'm a little bit, I don't know, a little bit taken aback about today's news, I'll be honest with you. But like Mark's just said, that guy within football has got influence on players and the other two that are coming in with him, right? This morning, I was like, what the Jesus? Now it's like, you know what, this could be a proper good move for our football club. And it could be, but I can't guarantee it.
Can I just throw a name out there, Nick? Can I just throw a name out there, right? And whenever I hear this guy talk about football, and whenever I hear him talk in general, he's absolutely, and he is world class when he speaks. And that's Jono, Michael Johnson. You know, he's Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
His Sunday night chats are back, aren't they, every other Sunday? And honestly, it has such an impact on people's lives, that does. It's so good. And I think when you hear the guy talk about football, even when we've had him on the show and you've heard him talk about football, and he's obviously got himself to a good level as a coach, but I'd just love to see him given a chance somewhere as a manager, I really would.
Yeah.
So just coach him and then bring him in.
There's a big difference this time around. We're not bringing in a coach. The wording has changed. We are not bringing in a coach. We're bringing in a manager. That's that, and you know, there's a big difference between the two.
Yeah, here's a shout from Jason. He says they should give Craig Gardner a chance.
Well, I've got some breaking news just
what about Lee Carsley? What about Lee Carsley? He's just won the under-21s Euros, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Carsley deserves a crack.
He does,
I think he to me is our next first England manager. He's going to take over from Southgate, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. King of Sheldon. Yeah, let's have him.
Who, sorry, Craig?
Lee Carsley.
Lee Carsley.
My thing is there, like, we're talking about these guys. If it was going to be one of those guys, then I don't think Eustace gets the sack, honestly. Because I don't, no disrespect. Listen, I love Jono and Lee Carsley, but I don't think that they would have been on the list in front of Eustace right now. I think Eustace has been sacked because Wayne Rooney's the next manager. That's the answer is to it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I think we have to get our mindset to how the Americans are thinking, and that's the hardest thing that our fans can't comprehend is how they work. And this is how they work.
The video of them sat down answering questions.
Yeah, or on the show.
With everything else. So just be honest, this is why we're doing it. Yeah. We wanted a big name, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Just imagine, Claire, if there was a podcast that they could come on to and do that.
That'd be a great idea.
And Claire, with all the greatest respect, big names aren't always good names.
I know, well, Zola summarised that, but...
You know what we do?
Gary Cook knows, really. It's all been leading, I think, to this.
100% right. It's all out of our hands, and we've got to go with what we've got. And like you said earlier, all we have to do is get there and shout that badge on the shirt and the colours.
That's all we can do.
Yeah. Craig, hit us, Craig, with this game.
Right, so 2017, 2018 squad.
Oh.
And... looking.
Should we leave this one for, sorry to interrupt you, Craig. Should we leave this one for the viewers to try and get?
Go on then.
Yeah, we'll get them to try it. I'm going to give two numbers on this one. I'll be interested to see whether people get these. And it's squad number 21 and number 22. And please don't, if you're coming on the message board, don't cheat. And I'll announce at the end who those players are. But it's 21 and 22. It's a bit tougher because actually they only made 13 appearances during that season between them.
17-18, so that's the season.
17-18.
Oh, look at the Savant's head going.
I know the 20. I know the 21. I don't know the 22 though.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say we all know the 22, don't we?
No, it's not Jude, is it? Before he broke it.
No, too obvious.
It's not definitely not.
21's not do Gary either.
No, I know the 21. I just the 22.
I know who the 22 is. It's
Oh, hang on.
Crikey.
Oh, don't tell them.
the Scotsman.
Alan, no.
Don't tell us, Alan.
Alan,
There's no
I will
keeping
say,
Alan down, girl. When he's on a roll,
he's
he's
not
on a roll.
Scots. He's,
I nearly had
he's
a
not
Connery.
Scots, so it's definitely not the one you're thinking of.
You know what? I think
I know the
22.
Can I tell you the nobody's answered you on the chat. So
I know 21 and 22. I think
Am I right in
Go on,
saying
then.
that 22 is Lee Jenkinson?
Cole Jenkins.
Carl Jenkinson.
Carl Jenkinson.
Carl Jenkinson, sorry.
Yeah,
I think the
so
20
Carl Jenkinson is 22.
I think the 21 was Lowe. Jason Lowe, maybe? It's something Lowe, maybe.
Mr. Meredith, you are the new savant.
Oh, my Lord.
Did you get it?
He did indeed.
He's took my crown off me there.
Mr. Meredith, I've just had the
See,
clap
Mark,
up.
that's why you're my number 2. See
That's
what I
why I
mean?
got the call, right?
That's why you got the call, number 2.
Oh, Paul, you sub.
That's a question. Did anybody else get Claire's call when she was offered the job?
I missed it. I was in the bath.
Yeah, I was watching here.
Mark, you're water boy. You're not you're talking about.
Mark, once a year you have a bath and you miss that moment.
I know.
I could live to regret that.
Right, into the last 15 we go. Who's got it tonight?
Do we know what it is?
Oh, was it?
Do you want me to do it?
Briefly, go on.
Oh, Paul.
Okay, so this week it's anything to do with insects and football.
Oh, good one.
Insect.
Good one. Oh,
Insects.
Right,
I'll
you're
start us off.
I'm
I'll start us off
glad you
with
cleared that up.
Go on, Paul.
I'll start us off with Barry Fly.
obvious.
Anton Ferdinand.
Anton.
James,
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the
James
ants.
Beetle. We'll have James Beetle there.
Barry
Somebody said Wayne Rooney.
Straight in there. Well done.
Please
well
name
done.
that person. That was quality.
No.
Paul Incy Wincy Spider.
Spiders, not an insect. It's an arachnid.
Oh, stop you.
Oh, is it?
Sorry, Miss Giblin.
Oh, here they come.
I'm just
Attention for me.
We might have
Mark,
just as well.
That's
Adam
right.
Leach instead of Adam Leach.
Yeah, Adam Leach.
Adam
yeah.
what?
Insect, doesn't it? Leach.
Oh, Leach.
Leach, yeah. Dennis,
Adam Leach.
There's no way.
Dennis B. Camp. Yeah.
What about Christoph Slug, Harry? Slug.
Oh, crying out loud.
It's really, really low on the list now. So Ian Clayton has said Dennis B. Camp.
Good one.
Brett Stanley. Fleven. Gerard.
That's a good one.
Nigel Mann has said Crane. Rooney. We've got Pete Taylor with Penn and.
Pen Ant, I like it.
There's a bit of a theme going on because Benji Smith's now going with Worm Rooney.
Well, don't Blues train at Waspills?
Oh.
Yeah. Stephen
Oh,
Gelt's
my
come up with a good one, which is Grasshopper Club Zurich.
Very good.
Yeah.
A lot of thoughts gone into that. I think somebody's been writing that down for at least a week.
Nicky Summerby.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
We haven't even got to change that, Claire. Fair play.
That was good, yeah.
Here we go. Here's a good one. Go on, Craig Tate.
Jim Toney. This is brilliant. Curtis Woodlouse.
Yes.
Yes.
Clever.
You're in the lead.
Paul Pesky Solido.
Paul Pesky Mosquito.
I can't even pronounce that one. I'm going to try that one again.
Mosquito, in it.
Yeah,
Paul Mosquito.
that's a good
That
one.
one's also come up with Paul
I'm going
Pesky
to go for
Mosquito.
Flea Camp.
Flea Camp, yeah.
Camp.
Jason Hughes said Kevin Francis because he was a daddy with long legs.
Oh.
Spider's not an insect.
Dear, oh dear.
Right, Claire?
Yeah.
Is it time for me to go for a wee yet?
I'm just saying, we don't want to go. We don't want to get
No,
told off.
Nigel Mann, we can't mention the egg chasing game. So actually, you're going to get a week's ban now from the show because he came up with Owen Farrell because he's a fly half.
Oh.
I love that. That's good.
Paul Hansen has said Nat Lofthouse.
Not Lofthouse, yeah.
You know, Wing Harland.
Liam Midgewell. What, Liam Midgewell?
Mitchell, I like that one. 7 out of 10 for your unadulterated comedy, Mark.
What about Mark Snail?
Thanks for your contribution there, Mark. That was excellent.
We've got Tom Waspner from Lilypad.
Alan must have one. Come on, Al. You must be thinking there.
I've
There's
got
been
one.
loads of text down there in West Sussex.
Yeah. Colin Greenfly.
Hey?
Well, what about Dom Kavanagh with Manny Longlegs?
That one, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Most people are very disappointed they haven't seen Nick's pussy.
And just while Nick is getting the cap, Jason Hughes has said, Dealey had a lava.
Oh, I know. Here's the truth, right? I came home, went to stroke the cat, and because I'd stroked the
Killed
dog
it.
at work, we got underneath the bed, and that's it. Game over.
Ah, right. Oh, well,
You sure?
really
You stroked a dog,
disappointed.
Nick?
Huh?
Are you sure it was definitely because you just stroked a dog?
Yeah.
Are you sure it was a cat? That's gone under the bed. It's not
Rex
Sharon.
Harriers, they come up with
You
Mozzie
also bad
Ardelas.
puppies.
What's the old deal?
Mozzie Ardelas.
Mozzie Ardelas, that's quality.
That's just really good.
Fleabo, yeah, on YouTube.
Rebo, yeah?
Can we have Mozzie, is it?
Yeah, I was thinking Mozzie, is it?
Yeah.
Barry Hornet is another one we've got on there from Pete Taylor. It's gone quiet now. We've got any on
Yeah, it
YouTube,
says, yeah.
Chris?
Yeah. Sorry. James Beetle. We've had that, I think, as well, haven't we? Yeah, James Beetle.
I've got one, but I've got one, but I don't like saying it because he plays for them up the road. But it's Tyrone Stings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was flat.
Can you give Paul, Chris? Can you give Paul his P45 a minute?
That was a bad one.
We've got Michael Woods with Dealey had a bowl of millipedes.
Yeah, okay.
Jim Tony again with Steve Ear Wigley.
He's on the roll.
The obvious one from Brentford, the Bees, from Andy Bonar.
All the
Lilypad
Hornets
has
from Watford.
Lilypad has said the Witchery Grub, i.e. Grealish.
You can see.
Oh,
Rooney.
Brett Stanley, Centipede, Shilton.
St.
Like
Peter
it.
Shilton.
What about Nikolai Flock Madsen?
Nicker Fly, Madsen.
Fly Madsen.
What about Bug
Well, I'm
Rocket?
waiting for it. Fly's not an insect. I'm waiting.
A fly's not an insect.
A fly is an insect. Oh,
Is
yeah.
it? No, it isn't.
But how do
You're
you
a teacher.
differentiate?
It depends how many legs they
Lara.
have
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
the parts of the body.
One's scary and one isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ollie gone off his shoulder.
Boing boing splat after the baggies on Friday.
yeah. One
That
more
was
spot.
Nobody, for the first time in many, many moons that I can, nobody's come with a hot chocolate thing.
No. Oh, they will
No.
now. They will now. Tick Harford on YouTube.
Tick off.
Tick Harford. Well done.
Nick,
Right,
one just for
name
you.
and shame,
Razor
name and
Roach
shame.
Brother.
Who?
Name
the bodies.
one, Chris.
Sorry? That's,
Name and
that
shame, Tick
was
Harford.
Off-Grid Madman on YouTube.
Brilliant.
And I've got to say as well, thank you to everybody that has voted for Tilton Talk at the Content Awards. So the voting did close last night, and we're now in countdown mode for the event in mid-November, when we will find out whether we have been successful and bring home some silverware.
Be nice.
We are up against some really good podcasts and some bad
excellent.
ones.
Some excellent.
I can say that.
Yeah.
But no, thank you to everybody that's been involved. It's really helped, and we continue to get bigger.
Yeah.
I do hope that the slimmed down version of Razor Root is there.
No, it's not Razor. It's not. He's not there now this year. No.
Right, I'm going to go for Matt Buzzy B.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul, thank you. Thank you for the accolade.
That is good.
You're getting off.
That is good. You like that one? Jason Hughes has said Mark Venus Flytrap.
Oh, I like that one.
Fantasy mark.
That's a good one.
Spider Sturridge.
Spider.
Oh, Ian Clayton has said Anton Flea Martial.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Handsome Flea Marshall. Very clever.
Double one there. Spider Storage from Ray Rhodes.
That's a good one from Michael Woods. Midge
Hancock's.
Right, Neil Webb.
Neil
Webb.
Spiders don't count. Oh, come on. Don't start Claire off.
Yeah, don't start that.
I'm just saying.
I think your bath's overrunning, Mark.
We all need some water, Mark. Fill it up.
So we've no game to look forward to now, have we? Till our next show.
Oh,
Am I right?
Curtis
Wrong.
Woodlouse.
England.
Curtis Woodlouse. Sorry, I'm stopping you.
We've had that one.
Woodlouse.
We've had that one.
We've had that one.
That was about 10 minutes.
Had that one.
Yeah.
Boring bunch.
International break now, Chris. England are playing on Friday night, Australia, and then next Tuesday
Australia.
we've got Italy.
Italy and Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'm going to a match on Saturday.
Who are you going to see?
I'm going to see Green at Morton and Kelty Hearts.
Oh, right. Where?
Okay.
Who?
At Morton.
That's a long journey.
Going up to north.
I'm going to Glasgow.
Scotland.
Oh, right. Okay. Why that game, Alan?
Because it's the only one in Glasgow.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I was going to go from the south coast to Glasgow. Just wonderful.
Well, no, actually, I'm going to watch two football matches. I'm going to watch the Scotland under-21s on the Friday night, and on Friday afternoon, I'm going on the Hampden tour. So it's a football history weekend.
Oh, that's
Who are the
good.
Scotland under-21s playing now?
Hungary.
Give them a cheer for me, will you?
I'm basically ground hopping. They're playing at Motherwell's Scots under-21s.
Oh, right.
And
Okay.
Morton are playing at Morton, and I've not been to either ground. So
You'll probably be the
Are you
only
going
one
on
there
your own
anyway. You'll be,
no, go with the family. Wife's coming.
there'll be the two other people there.
Yeah.
Brent Stanley has said
minutes ago.
Alberto Tarantula rather than
Tarantula.
Tarantino.
Spider.
Yeah.
I've got Nat Lofthouse.
I think
Yeah.
that one as well.
Mr. Chairman, Nigel Mann has said, wherever you're going, it sounds like a great band. Oh, lily pads, we like that one. The Tilton Tick Show.
Very good. Yeah,
I like that.
That's a good one.
What a great play on words that was.
very good. Yeah. Glasgow War.
Are we on next week, Chris? We might have an talk about by then.
Yeah, I think so. I think
We might have a new manager.
I think,
think-
yeah, the
I
thing
think
is,
so.
thing is
Definitely have a new
right,
manager
next
on.
week, the whole structure of the club may have changed. So I think it's
we'll have.
probably
Some talking
It
point.
we do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I
You know
think
something, your beard gets whiter by the week, mate.
yeah.
And Tony Jones has now come up with Tick Advocat.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a good manager, wasn't
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Brent Stanley has said, enjoy the tour, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I got one. Delhi had a arachnid.
Do you know what?
I hope you said arachnid.
Oh, no, I'm waiting
he?
for
Claire,
Claire's going to tell us it's a spider now.
And a arachnid is a spider.
Exactly. So you can't count, can it?
I don't do spiders, mate. I tell you now, I promise you, anybody come to me with a spider and I've got a knife in my hand, I'll slit your throat.
I like Steve Jobs' comment there. Steve Jobs' comment there. We can discuss sacking Wayne Rooney next Monday.
Just saw that. Yeah.
Well, apparently he's on a lot more than Eustace was, so
Oh,
let's
I can
value
imagine.
for money.
Oh, 100%.
Can we afford it though? Again, as a club, can we afford it?
Oh, we've got the money for it. Yeah, we can spend money.
In 2 years' time, we have to pay him off.
We can spend money that way. It's just players who can't spend it.
Do we think the lower Tilton and lower Cop are going a bit slower than they were before? With
Oh, I think it's going to be Christmas
took
and
over.
stuff.
And
They've
obviously,
done a lot on it.
Yeah.
They've done more and more every time we go.
you think, yeah?
It's just a little
Yeah,
bit more. Yeah.
100%. Every time I go,
Yeah.
you see either two bits gone up or whatever.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and they've put safe standing in the away end as well, haven't they? On some of the
Yeah,
seats?
I think it'll be done sooner. Well, they need to now. I don't know if we need to
Yeah,
pay for
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I guess when we'll really notice the difference is when the seats start going in. When we can actually read the word blues behind the goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
We're
blue,
French at the moment. Blue.
Yeah.
the blue.
To the blur.
Nigel Mann has said next week we're going to be live from the bingo hall.
Who's joining us? I'm joking.
And Rob on YouTube, hopefully Wayne Rooney comes to you with a spider then. With regards to Nick, I believe. Yeah. Right then, I think that's time to go then, Nicholas.
Yeah, well, crazy couple of weeks, but there you go. Look, we all have to just look forward to what's going to happen. I don't know, you don't know, we don't know. Could it be good? Could it be bad? We don't know, right? John Eustace has now left Birmingham City Football Club. That is the end of that era. We have to put a full stop behind that and say, we now move on again, right? However, this has to work. For me, this has to work, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll dedicate this show tonight to my brother Rob, who we will be at his funeral on Thursday. Sorry for not being with you last couple of weeks because, he just didn't feel like it. But there you go. But you know what? Life has to go on. It really does. It has to just continue. And for all the evil things that are happening in the world right now, our last 15 minutes brings a smile to everybody's face. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, good night. God bless. Take care. Look after your family. Look after your friends. And love them always. Keep right
on.
Good night, all.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, sorry, I forgot the good nights tonight. No, I did it on purpose.
Can I bang out with Declan Lice?
Sorry, Paul, it's 2 minutes after 9 o'clock. You're sacked.
Good night, Mark.
It's only 8 o'clock. You're sacked.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Right, Craig.
Good night, Paul.
Good night, Wayne.
Good night, Craig.
Good night, Craig. John Eustace.
Good night, Claire. Good night, Alan.
John Boy.
Good night, Nick.
Good night,
I
Wayne.
love you all.
See you, Wayne. Away from America.
Good night, Colleen.
Enjoy your bath, Mark.
Anyone got contact in the morning, Mark? All right.
Ready.
I'll see you for the photo shoot on Wednesday. New manager.
Ready.
Good night, John Boy.
Pass light today.
Anybody know?
All the best, mate. Nice one.
Does anybody know when Sainsbury's close?
Remember, spiders not insects.
There's a spider in the room. Can someone get this spider?
Get Nick to get him. Get Nick to get him.
You got no chance, mate. 0.